Ha!
Hey everyone, Hassan here. Welcome to the world of Ha. Today I have a review of the Super Morphin Red Ranger and Super Morphin Black Ranger. So these figures are kind of the equivalent of the old school Auto Morphin Power Rangers where you would push the little button and then they transformed. In this case, instead of pushing a little button, which was the little Power Morpher belt buckle thing, in this case you're going to be squeezing the legs. So you take the Ranger, squeeze the legs, and he's now transformed. Do it again, and he transforms back. So that is the gimmick that they went with, and we have the Red and Black Rangers. I wish they would release all of them. I hope eventually we get all of them. I think that'd be really cool. But for now, these are the ones that we have. So they come in this open style packaging. I'm not a huge fan of the open style packaging, to be honest. And also some of these, like the Red Ranger, especially that I have, is like when you twist it, he doesn't fully transform around, and now his head is facing the other way. Like I think it's because of the packaging that's weighing on top of it. It's not letting you fully do it properly. And so that almost makes me think the toy doesn't work properly. Now, if I open it up and it does the same issue, then that's a problem. But I think that's a terrible way of showing it. I think pictures are enough to let people know what the feature is. But if you're going to have a try me mode, make sure that it works properly. Like, how am I going to have... I don't know, it doesn't always spin and land in the right spot, so that kind of just frustrates me. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But open style packaging, and then the back of the box says right here they have like the light up Yellow Ranger in addition to the other Rangers that I've reviewed. They have the Smash and Bash Putty, which I've done a review of, so definitely go check that out. And then it says Morph in Action. So again, same thing here, showing you how it will transform. So that's that. So without further ado, let's get these open and take a look. Alright, so I have the Super Morphin Red Ranger and Black Ranger out of the packaging right here. And first impressions, at least on display like this, they look kind of awkward. Just the way that they're designed. Their pose is just a little weird. The legs kind of split up like that, like they're leaning a little bit to one side. They're also really, the proportions are kind of odd, like they're really bulky here, and then the arms clearly looked a little bit detached, right? And it just proportion-wise, it looks odd, especially when you stick the Legacy figure right next to it. Like, you can clearly see the proportions are off. Now, I get it. This is a gimmick figure, and usually with the gimmick figures, you're going to have to sacrifice stuff like the actual look of it in order for the feature to work properly. So I get that, and so, I can pass it a little bit on that. There's not too much paint on these figures. As you can see, it's all pretty much one solid color except for the middle piece right here, which does have red inside the Power Morpher, and then the chest piece is just straight blue, that sort of thing. And then the helmet, of course, they also put some paint on that. Then the back is also just one solid color. Same with black, all one solid color here, except for this little silver piece, the little black power coin inside as well, the blue diamond, so that part is there. And then the helmet as well has some paint, as you can see. And then the back is all straight one color. So paint-wise, pretty limited, but that is what it is. Now, articulation-wise, the legs really can't move, except obviously this one leg goes inward, like so, because he will flip around and so on. This piece does rotate all the way around. It technically can go the other way, although it sounds like it's like clicking and stuff. I wouldn't want to break it or anything, so I wouldn't really do that much. The helmet does not rotate at all because it's got a flip, The arms, though, have some articulation. So the arms can rotate all the way up like that. They can go down. They can go all the way around, both arms. And then they can bend at the elbow a decent amount as well. The only part that it's just weird for me is just the position of them. This one has a fist, and then this one has the hands like this, but I feel like you look at the thumb, and then you look at the rest of the fingers, and they're like twice as long as the thumb. So it looks like he has Wolverine claws for hands. It's really odd. I wish they had gotten fists for both. I think that would have been great. And then I wish that the elbow articulation would have been so he'd be able to bend them forward, you know what I mean? You can only bend it inwards, but it would have been nice to bend them like towards you, like forward a little bit. But, I guess it is what it is. I guess the idea is you can have them doing whatever, like a giant bear hug or something. I don't really know, to be honest. It's just really weird. But I think the arms have to move freely because when you do the gimmick and you twist it, he spins and the arms move up and stuff. Same articulation for the Red Ranger, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Now, so to actually do the spinning gimmick, basically what you do is you just squeeze the legs together and it spins like that. So, a couple things that I want to point out. First is in this so-called civilian mode right here, right? This mode here, you still have the power morpher. Now, granted, in the movie they didn't morph with the power morpher, but it's interesting that they have it here in the civilian mode, because if you want to pretend like they used it in the movie, you can say he has the morpher, and then when he wants to use the morpher, then it radiates up to his body, and you can... Anyways, I'm just making up stuff now, but, you know, so there's that. The rest of the body is all one solid red color, nothing there. That chest piece is kind of hidden in the back now. But what I will say is they got a pretty decent head sculpt. Like, that looks like Dacre Montgomery. Like, that looks like Jason from the movie. So I thought they did a pretty good job of replicating his face for the figure. So that's pretty cool. I dig that a lot. You know, I think they did a good job with that. Let's take Zack over here. Let's flip him. Boom, right there. And again, same thing, power morpher there, but then the rest is black. And again, pretty decent job overall. You know, I think he looks a little bit like chunkier or something in this figure. Like, he just looks... The proportions are a little odd, but I can still see it. I think like maybe that half of the face looks okay, you know, but then here, this just, something just seems slightly odd. But overall, though, it's hard to get an actor's face, you know, to be pretty accurate. And overall, I think they did a pretty decent job. I think they really nailed Dacre Montgomery and Ludi Lin. Overall, pretty decent, overall, you know. So I think that's pretty neat as well, but... To transform it back as well, you know, you flip the legs and you're back in Black Ranger mode, and you never know what the arms are going to do. Like, this arm shot out to the side there, right? Let's see with him. Now you got both arms shot out to the side like that. So you never know what's going to happen with the arms. So far, so good, right? Here's where my issue with it goes, and I don't know that kids may care. You know, they may not. I personally am a little annoyed at this, but basically, when you spin it, all right, so, okay, you know, he's facing forward, spin it again, facing forward, spin it again, all right? Keep going. And of course, because I'm talking about it on video, it's gonna work perfectly fine. Oh, he just knocked out the Red Ranger cold. Oh, man. So, you can see the spin is pretty strong. What I was trying to demonstrate is sometimes when you spin it, that happens. There we go. It does it more on my Red Ranger than it does the Black Ranger. But first of all, I will say a couple things. One, the arms are all screwed up. Like, and that's because he's facing the other way. This is how he's supposed to be facing, but it didn't land. Even this way, his arm backwards like that, it's a really odd pose, but it doesn't always face forward. So you're doing this, great, but now he's facing this way. Okay, do it again, now he's facing that way. And now he's constantly, I feel like he's dabbing here. Boom, dab, dab, dab. Anyways, and sometimes, not as often, but sometimes it gets stuck like that, but not as often. But with my Red Ranger especially, he faces backwards a lot. Like, as a kid, if I'm trying to, you know, imagine as a kid, and I'm like, all right, guys, it's morphin' time. Oops, hold on. It's... Switch back, ready? It's morphin' time! And stuff like this happens. Like, imagine, you know, it's all screwed up, and he's not transforming properly. Like, now he won't even face forward. There we go. All right, ready? It's morphin' time! And then he's facing backwards. Like, that's traumatizing to a kid. It's like, he's screwed up. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I don't care. But that just kind of is a bit of a bugger for me. Like, it just... Especially my Red Ranger. The Black Ranger is not as bad when I do it, as you can see. So I don't know if I just got a defective one, because for the most part, he faces forward. You know, it's not as bad, although if it gets stuck in a certain motion, or if you don't do it enough, like if you're slightly off, it'll get off rhythm, you know? So anyways, I'm rambling now. You guys get my point. So will kids care? I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. but as a collector, for me personally, I'm kind of disappointed by that, because I grew up on these figures. And yes, this is my Jason figure that I owned since I was a very, very little kid. So he is all like yellowed and broken and all this sort of stuff. So ignore all that. But this is my childhood. This is what I grew up on. And you wanted to say it's Morphin time and Morph? It's Morphin time. Boom. You got it right there. Like without fail. Like that's it right there. Boom. Transformed. That's epic. Like that wouldn't fail. You wouldn't have him twisted another way. You know, like that would have been cool. And I really wish they would bring back these figures. If they're worried about the proportions are all screwed up on these guys anyways. Bring back these Automorphin figures and that would be amazing. So, I don't know. You know, it's going to be up in the air whether you like these or not. I personally am kind of disappointed by them. Maybe other people will find more fun in them. I think if you want some of this action of squeezing the legs and doing something, I think the putties are cooler. You know, like, I think this is far more entertaining than the spinning Rangers. So that, you know, I find better. But that's that, guys. I think you get the idea. These are the Super Morphin Red and Black Rangers. I do hope they at least release the other Rangers so we have a full team, because I always like having teams, you know. But that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Man, this brings back so many memories, like digging this thing out. Like, I know mine's all beat up and like messed up, because I as a kid, I was rough with them. I played with them all the time, but like, just that transformation, man, that was just, I love it. I have all of my Automorphin figures. I think my Green Ranger and White Ranger are missing the shields, or they're broken or something, but, you know, but I have all the figures, and like, this was so cool. I really wish they would bring back some of this old school stuff like that. I think that would be really neat, definitely, to add to the collection, or just re-release these. I mean, obviously they probably don't have the mold still, but if they were to re-release these as legacy figures, that would be really neat. But I do like that the actual actor figures, the heads that they have for these, and you know, just like these were pretty decent. Like this looks like Jason from the original, so I do like those, and I wish that the other Rangers get releases like that as well, just so we can have the actors represented in the action figures too. I think that would be cool for them. But anyways, that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.